Hey, so it's our final day 4 of Southtowne Gives Back, and it doesn't get any more real life than this. It's proof that life throws you curveballs, even on Christmas Eve. This is going to be tough for me to make it through, and I'm sure tough for my buddy Rick here. But I'm going to let Rick start on how he first met this young lady.
Yeah, it was, I guess about a month ago, a little less than a month ago. Had a friend of mine gave me a TV because I was going to use it for my camper. It ended up, I couldn't use it. It just wouldn't work for the camper. So I put it on Facebook to sell it. And this lady came back to me and she asked me on Facebook, would I take $20 for the TV? And I didn't really care. I didn't give anything for the TV. I said, sure, no problem. I didn't know who she was. And she showed up, and her little car was not very, I didn't know it wasn't running very well. And it didn't look too promising for her. But we got talking about the TV. We got in my garage, and she wanted to make sure the TV worked. I got it all hooked up for her. Everything was fine. And then we went to pick it up, and it was an old TV. It was very heavy. And I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, but maybe together we can get this in your car. And I said, but I'll need help. I had some surgery in August, and I said, I'm really not supposed to pick up anything real heavy. And she said, well, I had surgery too. And she's only like 31 years old. And I'm thinking, this young girl, how can she have surgery? But we together got the TV, got it in the car. A little 4-year-old boy was kind of crunched up with the TV. It barely fit in the back seat. It's a little small car. And he was so happy, and she was so happy to get in the car. And then she started telling me, I asked her about her story. I said, what's going on with you? You're so young. Well, she got telling me that, come to find out, she ended up having some breast cancer and lost both breasts. And she actually pulled her shirt and showed me her scar where they had actually cut her from one side to the other. And I mean, it just broke my heart to hear that. Well, thinking, especially with a young woman and going through that kind of stuff. So, I don't know, she ended up leaving, and it just bothered me. Something was telling me I need to do something for this lady and her family. And it said she had another son that was almost 13. And that little boy I think the other boy was 4. And so the more I thought about it, I started asking a couple of friends, just talking to a few friends. And next thing you know, one of them mentioned, you ought to ask Bill. Bill may help you, do something for her. And I reached out. One day I tried to get Bill. He and I both, he's probably a little busier than I am. So since I retired a while back, but he has hired me back in the last few weeks. He's hired me back to do some work for him. But anyway, one thing led to another. I got a chance to take up a little money for the girl. And finally, with about $200, I ended up getting a chance to go down to her house. And when I went to her house, she had left me a message just to come on in. Said she was still real sick and just come on in and come on back to her room. And when I went back there, this girl was just covered up in a blanket, and she was just shaking. I'll never forget the look on her, the way she was scared. She was just shaking and cold, and she was running a fever. And she asked me, said if I could go get her anything else, and she asked me would I go get her some Pedialyte. She said, it sounds funny, but I just need something in my system. And so I did. I went back over to Dollar General across the street and picked up some Pedialyte. Came back. While I was over there, they had one electric blanket. I brought it back to her. And when I brought that blanket, got it hooked up for her, and I'll never forget the way she just got warm, and it warmed me up too, man. So, but I was able to give her a few things. I got her some more necessities for the house, and I just knew it was going to be a hard Christmas for her. And after that, Bill got back in touch with me, wanted to do something.
Rick's an unbelievable person. So after hearing the story, we planned on giving her this new vehicle for Christmas. She's a local resident. She needed help more than anybody we could think of. And after all, helping others with this season is really all about. And nobody knows that more than this man sitting next to me. You know, that's the whole reason for this Southtowne Gives Back series, and what we do. If we can't give back, you know, what are we here for? But now for the curveball. I mean, we planned on surprising her driving out to the trailer she lives in with Rick, with the bow on the car, and so, you know, my buddy Rick here started texting her, and to make sure she would be home, so that we could bring her the car, and got some bad news.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I texted her, she had just had to go back. She thought she had pneumonia. She was having a lot of trouble with pain in the chest, and come to find out, she went to Noonan Hospital, and then they ended up sending her over to the cancer center here behind us. And so far as of today, she was still in the hospital. So unfortunately, you know, we couldn't get together, but I hope this is, and I know it will be a great surprise. I never realized this was going to happen. I figured they may donate a couple $100 or something. I never thought this would happen, and I'm just really appreciative. I know this little girl will be, I mean, she just has no family, and I don't know what she's going to say. I really don't. I just
And her
hope
car
y'all-
was, I mean, Rick had told me her car was, wasn't even running, was it?
It wasn't running very good.
Wouldn't even make it
When I
to
asked
your
her, I said, if it's something we can do, I'd like to help your family for Christmas. I said, some people have too much pride, and they just don't, you know, they're too embarrassed. And she said she could use some car maintenance on her car, and she said, my boys need some clothes. That's the only thing she asked me. She said, the money, am I behind on money? I'm just not going to, you know, she really didn't want to ask for money, but she's behind on her bills. I know she's behind on her power bill, was like about to be cut off. But you know what? It's just, money can't fix your health. So I just hope you all pray for this young lady and her family. And whatever happens, I just hope this will really make her, if nothing else, make her feel better. It made me feel better.
You know, and we decided to do this video anyway, and as a reminder of just, we go through these holidays, and you know, sometimes don't even think twice about it. We have family over, we enjoy food, happy times with each other, and we don't realize that there are people laying in the hospital right now.
That's right.
Don't know that they may even make it out. But we wanted to do this just to, you know, to show what we plan on doing for her. Hopefully, when she gets out, we will deliver on that plan. You know, I just want to recap the series with, you know, telling everybody that that's the reason for this season. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and God bless us all.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you, folks.